It seems to be that there were election shenanigans all over the place, with the possibility of one riding in BC making the NDP a minority government. Also, there are reports that people are registering their pets to vote in the upcoming Liberal leadership race. Welcome to my channel, y'all. I hope you're having a great day. Well, if you thought that Canadian politics couldn't get any weirder, well, you were wrong. Because federally, they just got really weird. A lot of people are registering their pets to vote in the upcoming Liberal leadership convention or race. And it's just hilarious. Obviously, people are trolling the Liberal Party en masse. But there is a serious issue that has come up as well. And that brings us to BC, which I want to talk about first. John Rustad has brought up some concerns to Elections BC about the Surrey Guildford riding. On election night, the BC Conservatives squeaked out a win in Surrey Guildford, but that was overturned during a judicial recount, which found that the Communist Party of China, the New Democrat Party of British Columbia, won by a mere 22 votes. And that is very concerning because during an inquiry or looking into this, the BC Conservatives found that there are 45 votes which are questionable. And this could flip the riding back to the BC Conservatives. I want to go now to a global BC news report on this, and then we'll talk about it.
The BC Conservatives are alleging irregularities in the last election, and Elections BC is now investigating. Keith Baldry joins us with more. And Keith, these allegations are focused on one riding.
Yeah, Surrey Guildford. So, of course, you remember on election night, the BC Conservatives held that riding by a very narrow margin. Subsequently, through a recount, it flipped over to the NDP incumbent Gary Begg. He won by just 22 votes. But the BC Conservatives have been doing some digging. They laid a formal complaint or a request for investigation with Elections BC back on January 3rd. Here's what it's based on largely. Again, the focus is on Surrey Guildford. So the Conservatives are focusing or questioning 45 individual ballots, 21 mail-in ballots from a 25-bed treatment facility, and they've got several affidavits from people there who question the method of how those votes were actually cast. 22 ballots, they say, were cast by non-residents of the riding, and they claim that one voter voted twice with slightly different names. John Rustad again addressing the media this morning.
We're making a number of recommendations that need to be followed up on. And the first and foremost is to repeat our call for an independent review of the election process. What that independent review needs to look at is not just these irregularities that we have found through the election process through digging. They need also to quite frankly to look at how the election was conducted by Elections BC.
So now in the hands of Elections BC, they are reviewing the complaint or the information brought to them by the BC Conservatives. There's just a tweet just moments ago from Attorney General Nikki Sharma saying that our election process is independent and fair, but John Rustad has every right to lay any complaint with Elections BC. She says her government is more focused on fighting the tariffs threat south of the border. So we don't know how long the Elections BC probe would take. Rustad's also calling for a commission of inquiry with a BC Supreme Court justice. Kind of doubt that's going to happen, but again, Elections BC is making their way through the paperwork given them by the BC Conservatives, and we'll see what happens as a result of that.
All righty. Thanks so much, Keith.
So what would happen if the review actually overturned the results of Surrey Guildford? Well, it wouldn't actually flip the results of the general election. It wouldn't change the ruling party, but it would bring up something very interesting. Take a look at this. So this was the final complete count. So the BC Green Party had 2, the NDP had 47, and the Conservatives had 44. So if Surrey Guildford is flipped, it doesn't mean that the government will change. Now, I'm not even sure if it can change at this late date. What it will do, though, is it will create a minority government because if the NDP loses a seat, they get 46 seats, and then the Conservatives gain a seat, they get 45 seats. So there's 1 seat between them difference. And then the BC Green Party has the ability to vote with the Conservatives on matters of confidence and bring down the government. I think even if the NDP become a minority government, it is very unlikely that the Green Party would vote against them because, as you saw during the debate, that Green Party leader is really socialist, like far left socialist. I would even say probably a communist. Now, she didn't win her seat, but you can imagine that the other members of the BC Legislature who are Green Party members are probably quite similar. So I don't think that the government would be brought down. But what if the inquiry that the BC Conservatives find more seats that had questionable results? Well, that is very interesting. At this late date, after the final ballots are in, after the Conservatives conceded that they lost the election, and after the Lieutenant Governor has asked the NDP to form a government, could that be changed without another general election? That's a very good question. I don't know the answer to that, but if you know the answer, put your response in the comments below. Now let's go to the federal side. And as I said earlier, there are several people who are trolling the Liberal Party en masse. They are actually registering their pets to vote in the upcoming Liberal leadership race. And I think that's hilarious. Let's take a couple of clips from a National Post article, and then we'll talk about it some more. The article is titled, "Mischievous Critics Register Their Pets as Liberals Ahead of Leadership Vote." That to me just is hilarious. Now, they took a lot of these clips from, I believe it was from X. The first one here, from a Dan Robertson. He said, "I want to share that my dog will be voting for Canada's next Prime Minister. Isn't that great? Her vote, by the way, is totally for sale." So, hey, this cute little pooch there, she may be casting a ballot for the next Prime Minister of Canada, which is hilarious. So as we scroll down, we get a few more. This lady said that I just registered my dearly departed dog, Fozzie Bear, to vote in the Liberal Leadership Convention. Yes, Fozzie Bear will vote for the next Prime Minister of Canada. Imagine if I sign him up to vote with all the names I called him. Fozzie Bear will change history. So she apparently is very, very funny. And she actually got a reply. It says, "Fozzie, welcome to the Liberal Party of Canada. By registering as a Liberal, you're taking action to help grow the most open and inclusive movement in Canadian politics. Canadians like you from every part of our country are stepping up to stand with our Liberal team as we lower the cost of living." Really? Lower the cost of living? All they've done so far is increase the cost of living. So that's a bunch of hooey. Then we have a response from the Liberal Party. From Parker Lund. "The Liberal Party of Canada is aware of these ridiculous fraudulent registration attempts. The National Party Secretary has the ability to remove registrants from our list and will be removing these fraudulent profiles well in advance of any leadership vote." So I guess they're trying to assure people that this will be a fair election. I think this might be the last one. Alex Brown posted on X, "I gave the address for the Chinese consulate in Ottawa. And just like that, Xi Jinping was signed up to vote in the Liberal leadership race. This is too easy, even by the low standards of repeated traitors to Canada. Give it a whirl, break it, so they have to fix it." I think that's funny. That's actually hilarious. Now, besides the hilarity in all of those posts, it does actually bring up something fairly serious. We have the ability, or the Liberal Party of Canada has the ability to elect the next Prime Minister of Canada in between an election cycle. And they are allowing non-citizens to vote and people as young as 14. Now, maybe they will get around to vetting out some of these pets that people are putting forward to vote. But, you know, it is kind of serious because essentially, because of their internal policies, people who aren't entitled to vote are able to choose the next prime minister. It's not just choosing the leadership of the party. This has more significant ramifications. Maybe the Parliament of Canada should establish rules surrounding leadership races within the different political parties, much like primaries in the United States, so that you can confirm who is a person who is able to vote. What is their age? What is their residency? What is their citizenship status? And that kind of thing. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to know what you think. Put your comments down below. And while you're at it, please like this video, share with your friends and on social media. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification so you never miss another video. Also, join me at 6 p.m. Pacific time on Rumble and YouTube for my live stream, where you're invited to join in on the conversation. Finally, if you reside on Vancouver Island and you wish to get your firearms license, I teach the required courses. There are links in the show notes of this video to my website where you can sign up to take a course from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.